5 years ago, Washington hired Andy Powell to build a culture of winning, and today he soaks up the feeling of a Pac-12 championship, the first title ever for the Dogs of Montlake. Dogs were out all weekend long. 151 points for Washington. SC finishes in second. Sprinters carried the day for the men of Troy. Tade Ojora first in the 110 hurdles, 13:48.
Sixth fastest time in the nation this year, and he was also helped out by his teammate Johnny Bracken's 13:75 as the Trojans go 1-2, setting a new standard as they continue to peak at the right time this season.
So that's 18 points for SC, and they did it again in the next race, going 1-2. It's the freshman, William Jones, announcing his arrival.
And 44:65 for Jones, the fastest freshman time in the country in the deepest field of the meet. And he led his teammate Johnny Blockberger also under 45 seconds.
Move to the men's 200 and the Stanford Speedster. Udodi Anzurike goes 19:91 and has to hold off Arizona State's Jeremiah Curry.
Sets a meet record, one of the most impressive individual performances we saw all day. He said coming into this race he was never sure if he could get to the 19-second mark. Thought he was running out of time, but the sophomore speedster setting a new Stanford mark.
5,000 meters in the heat and the wind of Walnut. But this guy didn't need any racing luck. It's the Irishman, UW's Brian Fay.
So Fay wins 2 of the 5 distance races from 800 to 10,000, all won by Huskies, 2 of them by Brian Fay.
Brian Fay came from behind to beat Charles Hicks and tie him history on Friday night in the 10,000. We thought he was done. He had much more to show, and then he comes back and gets the Dublin on the weekend. He knew all about this route, even growing up on the Emerald Isle, and they took a victory lap afterward. Again, it's the very first title ever for the University of Washington, and they left no doubt. 151 over SC at 137. On the women's side, Jerry Schumacher also the victory shower. Remember, he got hired 270 days ago, and he's already a Pac-12 champion. SC finished in second as well, but it was 158.5 points for Oregon on that side. SC's 127. In the 100-meter hurdles, favorite Talibans from Arizona.
Did not disappoint after winning Pac-12 Scholar Athlete of the Year. Bonds ends up winning the 100-meter hurdles in decisive fashion. She also took third in the high jump.
She was third last year, not to be denied. 12:75 for Tally Ho. 400 meters, dominated by the women of Troy. They go 1, 2, 3, 5 with Jantasia Jones first to the finish line.
Yeah, she led the Trojan trio, 50.44, but don't forget about Bailey Lear, 51.11, and Christine Mallard, 51.41. You felt at this point that U.S. is going to surge. They know they are going to be a force to be reckoned with at the national level because of what they can do in the sprint.
How about the 100 meters? SC all over the podium in this race as well, but the top step belonged to UO's Jaden Mays.
And the start of the meet just shot out of the blocks at a one-stride lead already 10 meters into the race and held on strong, 11.20. Mays making a name for herself early on.
So Oregon wins the sprint, and then they come back in the 400 hurdles. They pull away in the team race. Another late win, Shauna Grebo.
She just came back to the team a week ago, and she wins the 400-meter hurdles in 56.41. It was not pretty, but she got the job done with her strength down the stretch. You can see a little chopping of steps, but she outlaned Abby Glenn of Colorado at the line.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty, but it's going to look gorgeous on the score sheet. That's the Pac-12 championship. The 5,000 meters, what a weekend for Oregon State's Grace Featherstone-Ha. Winning the 3,000 steeplechase on Saturday, 22 hours later comes back for another bite in the 5K.
And in both races, she beat the NCAA runner-up in the steeplechase, Kaylee DeLay. And for Louis Quintana, the coach at Oregon State, how sweet it is, 2 for 2 for Grace Featherstone-Ha in the steeple and in the 5,000.
Oregon State ends up in 8th, but this day belongs to the women of Eugene as they win again. That's 12 overall championships, but it's a new era. It's a new start. And it's Jerry Schumacher and the Oregon Ducks taking home the title again.